There's no point in you plotting to try to make the narcissist go crazy. There's no point in that. You're wasting time. You see, they're already crazy. They just projected into you, just how truly unconsciously they feel. They love their false self, a delusional image they have of themselves, the reflection in the water, you see. The fake idea of perfection they think that they are, the hologram of the amazing person they pretend to be. They are a wax figure of pure fakeness and evil BS. That's what they are. They cannot process shame. It's like throwing water on the wicked witch of the West. They're not real. They have they've detached from their real self. They are an actor in a play. It was too hard for their real self to accept or overcome their imperfections, their shortfalls. You see, this happens at such a young age. So they created this delusional, special, imaginary false self to protect them from having to ever feel shame or guilt. Now that's crazy, isn't it? Make it make sense, y'all. Imagine being that fragile. If their fragile image feels threatened by you in any way, if you are better looking, happier, more successful, getting more attention than them, you call them out on anything that would question their imperfection, they have to tear you down to feel better. They cannot be at fault for everything, for anything. They just cannot be at fault. You see, everything is either all good or all bad in their mind. At all costs, they will do and say whatever it is necessary to keep believing that they're perfect and better than you. The God complex, right? Everyone must bow down to them because they're perfect and nothing will ever be their fault. They're never wrong. They could never do any wrong. They are an actor playing a role of what they think you will think is awesome, mirroring what they see perfect to be. But ultimately, you will become a victim because you see they're predators who needs a lot of attention, and you will be used in any way necessary to keep that false image real and perfect to them. They don't have true emotions because they have no conscience. They do not feel bad for what they do, nor do they have any empathy, no connection to their real self. Therefore, they are incapable of real care for anyone else. Their real self has been closed off. They hate that real self. They hate their real self. They just do. The real self is weak and imperfect. So why would they ever care about you? They only care about one thing, and that is making sure in their mind their false self remains perfect to them. They love bomb to fool you. Then they devalue you to hurt you. And then they discard you when they are bored, when they are done with you. And if you do stay around, you must have no love for yourself. Can't be sticking around, putting up with this. You see, because when you stick around, it further justifies their abuse towards you. If they can convince you to stop loving yourself and cause you to lose yourself, it's like they have stolen your soul, which makes them feel powerful and further affirms their false image is strong and real. It is a very, temporary high. So they must find ways to get more. They need that false, fake, perfect, self constantly acknowledged. It's truly sick, y'all. It's a truly sick disorder. These individuals are evil, and they're completely nuts. They're a slave to their false self. Nothing is more important in their mind. Their existence depends upon a false illusion of who they imagine themselves to be, to remain propped up. It's life or death to them to keep that false self inflated with attention. And guess what? You could never convince them in any way that they aren't perfect or that they're wrong. They will word salad you and gaslight you to pieces. And any reaction you have to their lies and manipulation empowers them. They just say you're the crazy one. They have been studying you and everything about you, every little thing about you for a long time, just so that they can hurt you and watch you suffer. You see, it brings them major satisfaction, right, of a job well done. They're incapable of empathy. Nothing will ever get resolved. You will never be understood. It will always be your fault. They want you fighting them and suffering because it makes them feel better and stronger than you. They have projected what their real self feels directly into you. So now they don't have to feel it. They have you doing that for them. You see, it reinforces their imaginary belief that they're better than you. They outsmarted you. And now you're suffering because you're weak. And they're not, because they're perfect. You're just collateral damage to keep their false self alive and strong. That's right. Listen, believe me when I say anyone and everyone in their life is up for getting the abuse. No one is safe, not even their own children. That is why the best advice is to run and don't ever look back. They have no air to breathe when you don't react. It's like that false self is invisible, and it's awful to them. They cannot stand it. They need your reactions to their toxic behavior, or it feels like they're dying. The best revenge is becoming a better person, the best version of yourself. And I'm talking about the person that you were, but better before they even met you. Or shall I say when they met you, but better. You see, this destroys and deflates them. It melts the wax figure. It makes them think all their hard work was for nothing. They go mad. You see, it's impossible for them to reconcile that you are better off without them, after them. Because in their minds, they're the best thing since sliced bread, right? And that's the thing. They can't deal with the fact of feeling like you're better than them. Right? Because they, it's just like there's nothing you can say to them to make them understand that they're not perfect. They're so popped up in their little bubble, right? But when you defeat them, that bubble is destroyed. It's a huge blow to their false self. And they can't stand it, y'all. They can't take it. They can't take feeling like they're not all of that. You can't tell them anything because they have all the answers. And they're just so perfect. So when you pop that little bubble of theirs, or shall I say that big bubble of theirs, it's over with. The jig is up. And they have to come to terms with they are in fact a failure. I just want to share that with you guys. Take the time out to like, comment, share, subscribe. Until next time.